Hello everyone, I'm Aurora CDFEA, the VTuber that was tossed around like a rectal left and right these past few weeks. I tried my best to sit my butt down, record stuff, and do my videos. But not only I had a myriad of personal life things that stacked up out of nowhere, but also art fights started, and I am actively participating in it, sucking up all of my free time. So instead of doing the video I originally intended to do, that requires a lot of time and effort, let me do an easier one to reintroduce myself to the grind, so we can all have a simple and clean good time. Kingdom Hearts is a wonderful series known for many things. Some of the funniest scenes and dialogues, an incredible combat system in various games, too many spin-off titles that are canon and necessary to understand what the fuck is going on in Kingdom Hearts 3, but one aspect I don't see many people talking about is the fact that this franchise has one core aspect that never lacks from any of the games: tragedy. Every single KH game ends in a tragic way or has many elements of tragedy in them. So to claim one scene in particular is the saddest in the entire franchise is a pretty high claim on anyone's part, especially someone that's making his first ever KH video about that topic. But to first understand my claim on the saddest scene, we need to establish why tragedy and Kingdom Hearts are fundamentally intertwined in an unbreakable bond. So, what do I mean by the fact that Kingdom Hearts is defined by tragedy? Well, it's simple. One common thread between all of the games is the fact that no good deed goes unpunished. In the first game, Sora is able to rescue Kairi and restore the worlds from the darkness. But in doing so, he gets separated from his best friends and can't return home himself since he needs to rescue Riku. In 358/2 days, we get to know the story of Shion and her ending, a short existence that was destined to be forgotten even by her best friends, and even her forgotten life created an immeasurable impact in their friends' lives. In Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora is able to return home with Riku, but at the cost of Roxas's and Namine's autonomy and life. And do I even have to begin describing Birth by Sleep? Kingdom Hearts doesn't have good endings. It has hopeful tones to them at best. Sora may be stranded from home by the end of the first game, but he has the hope to return to it with Riku. In Chain of Memories, Sora ends up in a pod needing to be restored back together at the cost of Namine's freedom, but Riku has the hope that Sora can be put back together. In Birth by Sleep, Aqua ends up in the world of darkness, but as she ventures deeper in search for an exit, she has the hope to see her friends one day again. Even Kingdom Hearts 3, the end of Xehanort's saga, the guy that caused every single bad thing in these games, ends with Sora paying the price for the things he pulled off in the finale to force a good ending for everyone else, ending up exiled from his reality altogether. The only way to end the tragedy in KH would be the end of the franchise itself, since at that point no more tragedies would arise. So to claim the saddest scene in any of the games is an impossible task, especially to claim that sad scene is in the very first game. And I am willing to admit that this may be a biased take on my own, but I think I have a good argument behind my choice, and why it is the saddest one of the entire franchise. There are many contenders in the game repertoire for the saddest scene, like Sora's sacrifice to return Kairi's heart in her legitimate place, as he stabs himself with a Keyblade with a full smile to try and reassure his friends. The ending, as I said, is tragic, as Sora needs to lock Riku on the other side and watch him go, as he then also has to depart from Kairi as she returns home, even seeing Riku realize what he has done once it's too late, and Ansem obtaining his body. So I imagine you will all be confused when I say the saddest scene of the entire franchise is this.
Whoa! Give me a break, Kyrie.
Sorry, you lazy bum. I knew that I'd find you snoozing down here.
No, this huge black thing swallowed me up. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't... Ow!
Are you still dreaming?
It wasn't a dream. Or was it? I don't know. What was that place? So bizarre.
Yeah, sure.
Say, Kyrie, what was your hometown like? You know, where you grew up?
I've told you before. I don't remember.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
You ever want to go back?
Well, I'm happy here.
Really?
But you know, I wouldn't mind going to see it.
I'd like to see it too. Along with any other worlds out there. I want to see them all.
So what are we waiting for?
Hey! Aren't you guys forgetting about me? So, I guess I'm the only one working on the raft.
Ah.
And you're just as lazy as he is.
So you know this. Okay, we'll finish it together. I'll race you.
Huh?
What? Are you kidding?
Ready? Go!
So why is the very first scene of a game, once you finish the tutorial, the one I picked? The scene itself doesn't have anything sad in it. The three kids we all learn to love and care for are happy, working towards their dreams and playing on the beach like any normal day. So why is this my pick as the saddest scene in the entirety of the franchise? It's because we see what was took from them. This was their normal life, their childhood. They never asked to be a part of anything that has happened before them, nor did they ask to take part of Xehanort schemes for a disillusioned utopia. Nothing they did in these days of building the little raft provoked the death of their world. They didn't cause Kyrie's heart taking refuge in Sora's, or their separation, or Riku's soul descent into darkness in his desperate search for his friends, or Sora being turned into a child soldier that represses his own emotions for the safety of the people around him. They were just kids, and they got robbed of that. Let me address a counterpoint I imagine many of the fans of the franchise will have, which is that by that logic, every tragedy hits their saddest moment at the start of a play by default. But here's the thing. Say it with me, everyone. Context is important! The reason I chose this scene of them at the start of the journey, it's because of all the cast, they are the only ones that lack a happy ending. The Birth by Sleep trio may have suffered the most, but their story ended in a reunion and with a new bright future ahead of them. The Ice Cream Trio of 358/2 days suffered a fate comparable with death, but in the end they were able to reclaim their life. Oh, and I guess Isa was there too. But our main trio never got a good ending on their own. What little peace they achieved in KH2 was ended immediately by the still existing threat of Xehanort. their lives started to be dedicated in the effort of a war where in the end Sora had to lead most of the charge and responsibilities. And in the end, Sora had to pay the price of everyone else's good ending, making everyone start to search for him, where every single road led to a dead end. In the majority of tragedies, the tragedy hits when you see how things could have ended well for the protagonist if just one decision was made different. If they just said one thing more or less, if they just did this different, or any other cases. One of the most known examples is the myth of Orpheus, where the musician is almost able to bring his wife back in the land of the living with him, with the only stipulation being not to turn around the whole road back from the land of the dead. And at the last second, he turns around, when he was so close into succeeding, making her return to the land of the dead without any more chances to get her back. There are many examples of this throughout KH, like Aqua saving Terra's possessed body, hoping her friend was still there, causing the events of the rest of the franchise. Or how if Heracles didn't teach Terra to be ashamed and suppress his darkness to turn him into the perfect light soldier, Xehanort wouldn't have been able to overcome him through darkness, taking control of his heart and body, leaving only a lingering will, hell-bent to destroy any darkness it saw, mistaking it for Xehanort's. But the main trio's tragedy couldn't have been avoided by them making another choice. They were dragged into a conflict that was never theirs to begin with. They had to pay the price for the others to achieve a good ending that they couldn't enjoy for long themselves. And they are stuck with the consequences of every single action and decision made by everyone but them. Even if in KH4 we get to return Sora home, their childhood will never return. These little kids playing by the beach will never return. Those versions of Sora, Riku, and Kairi died with their original world, and the people they have become will have to deal with their loss as they get through life. I am mourning those kids. They didn't deserve anything they had to deal with. Thank you for watching. I'm curious to read in the comments what is the scene in Kingdom Hearts that you find the saddest. But as for me, this is all for today. Thank you for joining my show, and see you next time.
If you like the show, please like, comment and subscribe. A little bit of support goes a long way.